Greetings and welcome to Nathan Lyle Official. I am, of course, Nathan Lyle. And it's a quarter till 2, Saturday night, technically Sunday morning, if you want to be, precise. But it's 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. And I have decided to do, instead of rants and rambles, which I would usually do right now, I'm going to do, as the title says, Opinions On, where I give my opinions on a specific subject, which you can tell by the title is the MCU. I've gone back and I thought about doing this last week because I did see Endgame opening weekend. It was amazing. And then I saw it again this week. It was still amazing. I can still hardly believe how it happened, and so this. I'm not going to say spoiler alert because it's been out for 2 weeks now. We're heading to the third weekend. Technically in the third weekend already. It's Sunday morning, so if you haven't seen it yet, go fuck yourself. I understand you might not like theaters. I'm not a big fan of them. They're overpriced, the food always sucks, and oftentimes the movies end up being overhyped. But Endgame is worth seeing. Especially after Jack's Films pointed out that, they're close. They're gonna break the Avatar record. I want to help them do that because Avatar sucked. That's all there is to it. So yeah, a lot of people, myself and others I know, have seen it 2 or 3 times. So if you haven't even seen it once, you deserve to burn in hell. So here I am to talk about the MCU as a whole, but I will end up talking in depth. Well, maybe not too in depth, but I will talk about Endgame and some of these, and I will end up giving specific details. So, first of all, I want to say that when the MCU. Well, first let me preface this with that I've always loved superheroes. Not big into comic books themselves. I've definitely read plenty. My uncle worked in a comic book store, not to mention he was born in the mid-60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s collecting a lot of comic books, which his mother then threw away the minute he finished high school. He finished high school, he left for college, and the day he moved out, she just grabbed all his boxes, tossed them straight in the dumpster. And I'm not going to lie, he had a lot of the things that he had in those boxes would be worth thousands of dollars by now. And so, yeah, I don't think he's ever really going to get over that. He's accepted that there's nothing he can do about it, and he's moved on. But that's something you don't really get over when your mom just throws out all of your comic books the day you move out. Mothers, am I right? They all suck. I'm just kidding. Only half of them suck. Tell your mother you love her, unless she sucks. I have gotten off track. So, back to the story. I grew up around. I've known nerds my whole life. I've always considered myself adjacent. I'm one of those people that if you've never read a comic book, I seem like a fucking expert. If you've read every single comic book ever, I'm a total noob. So I feel I'm right in the middle. I've just spent my whole life straddling the line. Just enough that I can fit in, but just enough that I can pretend I don't know any of these people. But yeah, I've always loved superheroes, never huge on Marvel. In fact, actually, the only Marvel comics I've ever read are Spider-Man and Venom. Grew up loving those, but I have always been a big fan of X-Men. I've seen every movie, TV show, and video game that they've ever put out. So, I really should check out some comics every now and then. But, Avengers. Before the MCU, my only Avengers experience was, well, first of all, there are some of the characters in Marvel vs. Capcom. And then there's also, there was an early 2000s trilogy, which if you haven't seen it, is worth checking out. It's Avengers, Avengers 2, and then Next Avengers. It's worth looking at. It really is. It's a good story. I loved it. But that's basically the only experience I have with the Avengers before the MCU. So when we got to the MCU, well, I saw. Are we counting the first Hulk movie with Banner, or was it Eric Banner? I'm trying to remember who. One of was that Eric Banner was the second one, wasn't he? Either way, there have been too many damn Hulks. But either way, that very first Hulk movie, do we count it as part of the MCU? I just want to know. I think Iron Man's the official star, but technically, that first Hulk movie, they changed out Bruce and his love interest, but same general, same, and it seemed followed the same, picked up where the last one left off. So I feel like technically that's the beginning. Anyways, I don't want this to go on too long, mostly because I'm half asleep right already. So I don't want this camera to have 2 hours of me napping. So yeah, we'll start with the Hulk. So that first Hulk movie, yeah, there was so many things wrong with it, but still, I've always loved the Hulk as a character, and so I enjoyed the movie. Though I will be the first to say, yeah, it wasn't a good movie. I enjoyed parts of it. I enjoyed, more than anything, I just liked seeing Big Green brought to life. Then Iron Man hit. That was a great movie. And then Nick Fury showed up at the end, and honestly, I didn't believe it. I mean, how many people watching those Hulk movies and the first Iron Mans, how many people would have ever predicted that Endgame and Infinity War would happen? Definitely not me. But yeah, did Iron Man 2 come out before the first Avengers? It did, right? Am I remembering that? It did, right? I'm all mixed up. But, yeah, stage 1, I really didn't feel that much excitement for it. Iron Man was great. The second Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk, much better than the first. Still kind of shitty, but much better than the first. I liked it a little bit more. But then like Thor and Captain America, I saw those. Actually, I wasn't going to watch them until the Avengers came out, and then everyone was hyping that up. And I realized I forgot to talk about Iron Man 2, which is kind of poetic in a sense because Iron Man 2 is very forgettable. I watched it once and then just never wanted to look at it again. Meanwhile, I think went back and watched Iron Man 1 sometime this year. I'll say last month. Just because. And anyways, phase 1, I wasn't that excited. Really wasn't. I didn't feel like I had much reason to look forward to it. Captain America, the first Avenger, the trailers looked horrible, and let's be honest, the movie itself wasn't much better. I only watched it because it said the first Avenger, so I figured, okay, this is leading directly into the Avengers movie, isn't it? We're gonna have to check this out. Thor, I've never been a big fan of his just because in general I don't like characters who are literal gods, so, but I checked it out. And actually I didn't see any of those right away because like the Avengers I didn't check out until a year after it had originally hit theaters. I saw it streaming online and I didn't like it. I saw Captain America and Thor just to watch that. I went in kind of low expectations, but at the same time, everyone's saying best superhero movie ever. I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I put up a video all those years ago saying why I hate the Avengers. I did not hate it. Didn't like it that much. Wasn't sure this whole thing would pan out. Then phase 2 hit, things got better. I'm trying to remember all the phase 2 movies. Because I know there was Thor: The Dark World, and I got so much snot in my nose. I don't even remember all the Phase 2 movies. I know did not really like Thor: The Dark World. I checked out the first season of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Wasn't into that. Winter Soldier, loved. Guardians of the Galaxy, loved. I mean, the MCU, it was picking up. It was getting more excitement. I loved all of it. And actually, Guardians of the Galaxy was another one that I skipped when it was in theaters because it was so hyped up, and I was like, I don't know. Everyone's saying too many good things about it. I don't trust their judgment. Actually, the first time I saw it was at school because they had got it and they put it on a big projector, and so yeah, I ended up loving it. I'm taking too long. I know. I'll try to hurry this up. But anyways, yeah. Phase 1, didn't really believe in it. Phase 2, I started getting hooked. Phase 3, shit got real. Shit got real. I definitely loved. God, I can't even remember when every single individual movie came out, but basically, I loved Winter Soldier. Iron Man 3 was great. Age of Ultron was less than amazing, but still good. It was. I think I felt the same way about Age of Ultron that I did about the first Avengers movie. Not a perfect movie. They could have done a lot of things better, but I did enjoy watching it. And it was Phase 3 that really got me hooked. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 sucked, but outside of that, Thor 3, Ragnarok was amazing. I probably shouldn't start with that, but actually, you know what? Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, once again, did not see those until they came on DVD. So I actually watched Captain America Civil War, not knowing, knowing which Ant-Man they were using. Were they using Pym or were they using Scott? So, but yeah, I ended up eventually checking out. I saw Civil War and then went back and watched Ant-Man. I saw Ragnarok and then went back and watched Doctor Strange. And then and I think Ragnarok I only saw because I did want to see Infinity War. And and Thor looked so different in the commercials. I'm like, what the hell? Captain America won me over with Winter Soldier. So when Civil War happened, you knew I was gonna check that shit out. Black Panther, another one. I skipped it in theaters. I'm not a big theater person. I'm not. Spider-Man Homecoming I did see in theaters because Spider-Man and Batman are the only two characters where I've read the comics, seen every TV show, watched every movie, and played the video games. Those are the only characters I can say that about. If there was a Spawn game, I would play that. Is there one that I just missed? Because if there is, I'll be pissed. But as far as I know, there are no Spawn games. And I really should read an X-Men comic at least once in my life, and then I can put them in that category. But Spider-Man and Batman, my all-time favorite comic book heroes. So honestly, Tom Holland, best Spider-Man I've seen in the live-action versions. A lot of people liked Andrew Garfield. You know what? Tobey Maguire, great Peter Parker, lousy Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, great Spider-Man, worst Peter Parker ever. Ever. in existence in the entire history of Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield might be the absolute worst version of Peter Parker. Great Spider-Man, horrible Peter Parker. But anyways, Tom Holland, yeah, they got this kid perfect. Honestly, I think seeing him in the trailer was the main thing that convinced me to see Civil War in theaters. Because it was like, yeah, this kid, they look like they got this kid right. And, oh my God, everyone talk about, it's hard to get excited for it, the stakes aren't there. I'm like, there's plenty of stakes there. There really are. First of all, Spider-Man was the best part of that airport fight scene. He would not shut the fuck up, which is perfect. That's like vintage Peter. I love it. Well, it might not be vintage Peter, but like it's the Peter that I love. I mean, I say that just because, like, by definition of the word, I don't know if I haven't seen like the original Spider-Man from way back in the day, but like the Peter Parker that I came to know and love, I think Tom Holland perfect fit for that role. I would like to see him play till the day he dies, or till the day I die, whichever comes first. Either way, somebody's gonna die. So yeah, Civil War and Homecoming saw in theaters. Loved them both. Actually, no. Yeah. And the Homecoming, I waited for the DVD. I saw Civil War in theaters. Homecoming, I waited for the DVD. I had actually planned to see Homecoming in theaters and just ended up not going through with it. But yeah. And then, same thing with Black Panther. It was one of those ones. Black Panther is actually one of my uncle's favorite superheroes. Because there aren't a lot of black people in the Marvel Universe. Basically just Black Panther and Blade. Those are the only ones we can really be proud of. And if you're thinking, but what about Johnny and the Fantastic movie? We don't talk about that. Let's just pretend it didn't exist and move on. And if you're saying Nick Fury, well, not technically a superhero, but yes, Sam Jackson is badass. Black Panther would still kick his ass. I'm just saying. T'Challa in his prime would beat the living shit out of Nick Fury in his prime. Let's just be real. Anyways, back to the subject. I know I'm getting off topic. I am sorry. I apologize. But anyways, yeah. The longer the MCU existed, the more I got into it. And Infinity War, it was... I think seeing the Guardians when they first popped up in the trailer, that's when I was like, it might be worth checking out, because it's got Spider-Man, Iron Man, Strange, Thor, the Guardians, Cap's coming back, Black Panther. This is gonna be huge, and oh my God, it was huge. It was an exciting thrill ride from beginning to end. The only thing I can say is. So much snot. Anyways, the only thing negative you could ever say about Infinity War, and I'll say this for Endgame as well, is that they're not standalone movies. You kind of have to see the rest of the MCU. I mean, you don't have to, but unless you've read every single comic book. Hell, even if you've read every single comic book, there's still a chance you won't really understand what's going on. They're not standalone movies, which is why I'll say Endgame and Infinity War were perfect movies for what they are, because they are the closing of a chapter that took 10 fucking years to read. You know what, though? Worth the goddamn wait. Oh, I liked one of the 3 Thor movies, but I feel like every single one of them was worth sitting through to get to Infinity War and Endgame. That being said, it has been 10 years, so if there's anything you don't remember about some of the previous stuff, feel free to just marathon the entire MCU. and I saw Fine Brothers videos where they're like, "Oh, rank all of your favorite MCU movies." Like, I'm not gonna put Endgame in there just because it is so new. Plus, it has its issues as well. Like I said, it's perfect as a closing chapter. I think my favorite MCU movie, I'd go with Civil War. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for that, but I legitimately love that movie. I thought the airport fight scene was amazing. You saw, for me, the tensions ran high. It was brother versus brother, and I think that's more powerful than any hero versus villain thing could be, because, like, who do I even root for? You know, I mean, I was Team Cap all the way. It's his movie. It's his movie, but when that fight scene with Cap and Bucky facing down against Tony, like, what they just, damn, they were beating the shit out of him, and I was about ready to cry, honestly. It's just like, you're supposed to be brothers, and now you're sitting here like just beating the boy to death, and then he's over here talking about that shield doesn't belong to you. My dad made it. And then he just drops it and leaves, disappears into the sunset. I mean, for me, that was a powerful movie. It was. And honestly, I'm just wondering, when did they plan Endgame? Like, when did they plan Infinity War? When did they plan Endgame? Because did anyone in 2008... I know Thanos showed up fairly early, but in 2008, did someone actually say, alright, we're going to do the Infinity War, we're going to have this person and this person, we're going to kill this person, we're going to have this person and this person, and then somewhere along the way, they're like, we should probably make a movie to introduce this guy and this guy and this chick. I'm just wondering. I kind of want to know how it unfolded. I mean, I don't know about all of you, but me personally, as a writer, as a person who creates stories, sometimes the story of how something got created is almost as fun as the story itself. I mean, I can tell you as much about why I wrote a good song or a good book for just as easily as I can tell you about the story itself. But that's just me. Anyways, we're off topic. I said it wouldn't happen again. I obviously lied. It'll probably happen 2 or 3 more times before this video ends. Good God, it's nearly 1:15. Nearly. Not quite. Nearly. But anyways, yeah. So, Phase 1, my opinion, meh. Phase 2, it was winning me over. Phase 3, dear God, yes! And I'm really excited for Phase 4, and I'm gonna give brief thing about Endgame. I definitely love that people actually died, and then honestly, when I saw Infinity War, I was kind of shook, and I don't remember if I made a video about it or not. I know I wanted to. Did I actually go through with it? Infinity War, like, I didn't expect Spider-Man to like hit me that hard. I'm pretty sure I made a video about it. But anyways, Infinity War, like, most of the deaths, I was just like, what is happening? Oh my God, are they actually dying? And then especially with Spider-Man just being like, it's almost like a little kid just learning what death is for the first time. It's like someone just shot a 5-year-old or something. He's like, what's happening? Why does it hurt? I'm like, God damn it, Tom! You played this far too well. But Mr. Stark, I don't feel good. It's okay. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Shh. You're just gonna go to sleep now. It'll be fine. I promise. It's not gonna hurt. You're not gonna hurt. Okay? You just close your eyes and it won't hurt anymore. I promise. That's what it felt like. Honestly, just. That I was fine until that moment, but then as soon as Spider-Man started dying, I was like, no! Though they did my boy Vision dirty. That was just fucked up, man. Y'all wrong for that one. But yeah, Infinity War, once again, it's not you can't judge it as a standalone movie, but as the beginning of the end, perfect. And Endgame as the end of this chapter of the MCU, fucking perfect. Well, not exactly perfect. Like, I can see why they ended up giving Captain Marvel her own introductory movie, because she's basically Deus Ex Machina in this one. Let's be honest. We have just enough of her that she can officially avoid being called a Deus Ex Machina. But in this movie, she's there at the very beginning, but I think she's after like 20, 30 minutes. We don't see her again for 2 fucking hours. And then she just flies in and destroys a fucking ship. Let's be real. She's basically Deus Ex Machina here. I feel like, but that's me, you know? That's, like I said, there's just enough of her with her, because she has her own movie, and because they let her be in the very beginning, there's just enough of her there that we can claim it's not a Deus Ex Machina. But let's be real, that's exactly what it is. And when everyone came back, like, still, I think there were a lot of people cheering. I was like, finally? That's what I felt like. Because, I mean, we saw Hulk snap. Like, we knew they were back. Hawkeye, his mom, like, his wife called at him. So, now we knew how it all worked out. So, when they did show up, like, I guess I was the only one who wasn't like, yay! I was like, there you are! And the first thought in my head, well, I guess when they snapped, they all came back where they disappeared. So they all had to come here from Wakanda and outer space and shit. But yeah, that's... But, them going back in time... The science, there are some flaws in it, obviously. I think Trisha said it best, science magic. But it was still fun, and I love that we get to visit a lot of the old memories from throughout the MCU. There were a lot of fun moments. It was a really funny movie. There was some very heartfelt, very touching moments here and there that... Even before I knew what was going to happen, you know, even without knowing for sure the ending, there were moments that was like, they hit me. But then watching it the second time, oh my God. Like Tony interacting with his father, I had to stop myself from crying right there. Just knowing that, you know, one of the last memories Tony gets to have in his life is seeing his dad one last time. I mean... That's just beautiful. Anyways, yeah, the Thanos fight, Cap getting to hold the hammer, I'm like, my reaction was basically the same as, like, yes! And, you know, it was fun, it was epic. I loved that Scarlet Witch moment where he's like, I don't know you. And he's like, you will. Because that's one thing I think a lot of people complained about the most with her, is that in this MCU, she's nowhere near as powerful as she should be. And let me tell you, Scarlet Witch, she can be pretty damn powerful. Like Thanos, universe-altering powerful in some of her different iterations. So yeah, I was glad to see her have that moment. And while this version of her probably won't get her own movie, because she's a woman, that they don't do that in the MCU, I think she's a character that could easily be like the main. It's like she's definitely right up there with Doctor Strange. It's like this highly overpowered being that why aren't you able to just kill Thanos yourself? You're so damn with all your magic and all this shit that you do, but whatever. And like Tony dying was really sad. It really was. But the moment I saw it coming, I was already ready to burst into tears. Because because him interacting with Doctor Strange, going back to it was the only way at the end of Infinity War, and then him there alone, stranded, and then going when he's like, the one future that you saw, is this it? If I tell you, it won't happen. Yes. And then him looking at Strange and just Strange already knowing what he's planning to do, because they've made it. They've made it to that one future. I honestly thought Thanos was going to snap again and they'd all die. There was a small part of me that knew that was going to happen. There was a small part of me that knew it was going to happen, and a small part that knew it wouldn't. So when he did snap, I was like, nothing. Oh, thank God. But then I saw the stones in Tony's hands, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You saw what it did to Hulk. Tony, don't. No, God, no. I mean, it was beautiful watching the whole army fall, and Thanos, he didn't even try to fight it. He just knew. He was like, good job, Tony. I mean, I love that he was that type of villain, that he didn't try to fight destiny, but he just accepted his defeat like a man. But I didn't want to lose Tony. I didn't even realize I was that attached to him, but I like seeing him like that, and I'm glad he got to say goodbye. At least that was good. And like, Captain America totally took me by shock. I wasn't expecting that. It was also a bit anticlimactic. But, I mean, I think we all knew Chris Evans was leaving at some point. I'm glad he stuck around this long, because there were theories that he was going to die in the Civil War movie. But, yeah, it was powerful, it was beautiful, and if I had to do it all again, I don't know if I'd be able to appreciate it anymore, but damn, I'm a little sad because it's a chapter in my life that's over, because the first Iron Man and Hulk movies came out when I was still a teenager. I'm almost 30 now. It's just so weird to think that we'll never see Tony Stark again, that we'll never see Black Widow again. Wait. Then I saw the Spider-Man trailer. And let me say, Phase 4, a couple of things I'm definitely looking forward to. Like, we already know Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out. We know there's going to be a new Guardians of the Galaxy just because of all the controversy surrounding it. And so I'm interested to see how they handle it now, since Thor went off with them. And we didn't see Gamora on the ship, but we don't know where she is. Like, is she still dead for good, or did that alternate reality Gamora stay here, and she just wasn't on the helm, or whatever? Is that what it's called? The bridge? Yeah, bridge. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happening there, but we're getting a new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so we know that. And we'll probably get a new Black Panther movie just because of how great how much money the first one made. They'll probably go there again. And can I say personally, I want to see Hunter in the Black Panther movie. I just think it's a good character. They should use him. And let's see what else. I'd like to see another Captain America movie. I want to see... I don't remember the guy's real name. Oh, Mackie. Anthony Mackie. That it? I mean, well, I want to see what he looks like in that Captain America uniform. We kind of have to establish this new storyline, don't we? And part of me wants to see a new Captain Marvel movie. Not necessarily because I like her. I mean, I don't hate her. Some things could have been done better, but really I just think I mean, she's gonna pop up again the next if they ever do another Infinity War type of story. But the only thing I'm thinking of is there aren't too many Marvel villains that I can think of bigger than Thanos, other than maybe Galactus and the Silver Surfer if they want to bring that back. So that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They could always. So yeah, but yeah, the only ones I can think of are that. The next biggie they face would be Galactus, the Planet Eater, or they could always say that they didn't completely eradicate Ultron and he's just been hiding and waiting, planning his revenge, something like that, or an Autumn Zola storyline, which would almost be the same thing. But with Spider-Man, the one thing I'm looking forward to is because I saw in the trailer, they said that Mysterio was from an alternate dimension, that the Thanos snap ripped open, tore open a rift in the time space continuum, whatever. The fabric of reality is broken, and the first thought in my head is Into the Spider-Verse. Are we going to introduce the multiverse? Because that brings back the possibility of us seeing anybody that's died. Especially because when you think about it, one of the science things that they said is that, because it'll create alternate. It won't fix your reality, but you will create a lot of alternate realities. And then, them saying, well, if we take the stones, but then put them back right where we found them when we found them, it's as if we didn't take them. But they changed so many fucking things. Like, Loki grabbed the Tesseract and made his escape. Thanos from that past came to the future. And that Gamora came there with him and killed that. And that Nebula was killed. So a lot of shit changed. Not to mention Tony meeting his father. Did that change the timeline? And of course, Cap ended up staying in the past to live out his days with the one love of his life. That definitely changed the storyline that he might not have been out fighting crime, but he existed. And did he have kids or even grandkids? The timeline was obviously changed in multiple ways. Knowing in hell everything went back exactly how it started. So thinking about it that way, and then also they seem to be introducing at least the possibility of a multiverse in Spider-Man Far From Home. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Also, I love seeing Fury in that trailer. Talking about, I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Bitch, please, you were in outer space. I love that moment. That was great. What I'm looking forward to... So I'm looking forward to seeing Phase 4 and how they handle it. I sincerely hope I am right about my multiverse theory. I want to see it. I like the idea of bringing in Miles Morales, possibly seeing another Peter Parker, or, possibly getting to see Robert Downey Jr. play Iron Man again. We can't hold out hope for that, but it would be so cool if that did happen. So 3 things I want to see in Spider-Man Far From Home. Don't know for sure if we're going to see it, but I want to see. First of all, I have trouble accepting Mysterio as a hero. So I'm feeling like there's a good chance he's going to double-cross them. Like, do we know for sure Hydro Man is even real? It could all be an illusion that Mysterio created. So, I mean, we'll see. We will see. I feel like there's going to be a double-cross there. And then, I definitely want to see, like I said, we're introducing the multiverse. So I want to see something happen there. Like, I want to see an alternate universe Tony Stark or Miles Morales or something get pulled into our dimension. That would be awesome. And what the fuck was the third thing? God damn it. I don't remember. I don't remember what the third thing was, but I'm going to make up one on the spot that I didn't think of before. But you know what I definitely want to see? I want to see a post-credit scene. We didn't get one in Endgame. I think we deserved one. but we didn't. I understand. It's a 3.5 hour movie, but I sat through those goddamn end credits. Didn't get nothing. I'm just saying, get back to it, Marvel. I want to know how this is all going down. Yeah, I've been here. Okay, it's 2:30. So, wow, 40-minute video? I apologize. Also, spoiler alert. So, anyways, yeah, those are my opinions on the MCU as a whole. What has been, what might be. And, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I can understand why someone would feel burnt out with this, but like they've done so well. My biggest problem is, like, damn, Endgame, Infinity War and Endgame were both so good. How can you ever hope to top that? But I'm going to watch. And we're going to see. I can't guarantee that I'm going to see every single movie in theaters, but I'm definitely going to see Far From Home, for sure. And everything else, we'll see what happens. So, if you've made it to the very end of the video, first of all, thank you for listening. You must be a huge comic book fan. Otherwise, there's no fucking reason why you'd stick around this long. And maybe next time I'll consider, when I don't know I'm going to do a video like this, where there's so much to talk about, I won't do it at 2 a.m. on Sunday after a 10-hour shift at work. This was a bad decision. So yeah, well, thank you for watching the video. Leave your opinions down below, whatever those opinions are. Agree with me? Tell me that. Disagree with me? Tell me that. Like the video? Click like. Don't like the video? Click dislike. I don't care. It doesn't change my life. Now, subscribe if you haven't already. You can click the bell if you feel like it. I can already tell you, I don't do a ton of videos. If you get one a week, you're lucky. But, anyways, this has been Nathan Lyle. Till the next time you see me in a video, have a great week, day, month, year, whatever, how long it takes.